Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. My name is Alex Dvorkin and I'm a managing partner at 4D Capital. We specialize in a very unique mathematical approach to the stock market where we analyze the market and individual stocks in four-dimensional space, and when we do, essentially perfect order emerges. On top of that, we've developed a number of very powerful timing indicators over the last couple of years, and when we combine both of them together, we can very often tell exactly what the underlying equity or the overall market will do going forward in both price and time, and we can do it on multiple time frames, whether it's short-term or long-term, doesn't really matter. So I personally believe our work is nearly identical to what Jim Simmons was able to accomplish at Renaissance Technologies. Now, our goal as a firm is to identify equities that will 2x, 5x, 10x, and do so within a relatively short period of time. And of course, that's everybody's goals, right? But we have a secret weapon associated with having that capability, and that's our software that has been built on top of our mathematical approach. So what we can do essentially, we can scan the entire S&P 500, for example, and we can identify stocks that have very important long-term bottoms coming up. And we can identify the tops, but in order to identify those 2x, 5x, 10x, we're of course looking for the bottom because the short side doesn't offer those opportunities. And then we can, as I will show you today, we can essentially from those bottoms project exactly how far the stock will go ahead in both time and price, and then subsequently we can pick out those very wonderful opportunities. So today we're going to be doing an update on T-Mobile stock. It's going to be more or less targeting analysis. We've done T-Mobile analysis, I believe, a couple of months ago. You can search through the video history, but now it's finally approaching its target area that we talked about at that time, and we're getting ready to essentially take a position. So T-Mobile is one of our fast movers, and just very quickly, just very quick introduction. Fast movers are stocks that are expected to appreciate or depreciate significantly within a relatively short period of time. I'd say 50% or more within 12 months or less. And I'll describe this in greater detail here in a second when we look at T-Mobile, but basically what you see here, cycle composites. And this is a very simplistic representation of a very complex mathematical concept. But basically, the top ones are responsible for the tops and bottoms are responsible for the bottoms. What we found over the years is that when there's a short period of time between a major top and a major bottom, or as is the case here, between the major bottom and the major top, typically that's when stocks exhibit violent behavior, or the overall stock markets. That's when they move the fastest, and this is a perfect illustration of that. This is the chart of crude light, and as you can see here, it topped here, a major top, kind of zoomed into it, and then completely collapsed into this major cycle bottom. So I think the time period between these 2 points was 9 months. So that's what we mean when we talk about fast movers, and T-Mobile is a fast mover. We mean that there's a short period of time between major cycle top and bottom, and that's when powerful moves take place. If you're looking for the upside, very explosive moves to the upside, and if you're looking at the downside, there are typically crashes. Okay. Doesn't happen all the time, it doesn't happen to all stocks, but if you see that particular composition on a stock, you can then verify with additional mathematical work whether or not that particular violent move will take place. Okay, so T-Mobile, as you know, we've been, as our prior analysis indicated, we've been following T-Mobile for some time. Our forecast was very simple, that we've seen the major top here, at least for the time being, and the stock is declining into this major cycle low that is scheduled for October. Now, I talked about these cycle composites before, and basically they get us into the neighborhood of an upcoming turning point, and then we have to work with cycle composites, cycle clusters usually is what we call them. Okay, cycle clusters, there's none of them here. But basically also cycle clusters is a complex mathematical concept that we scan the chart back using at this time our proprietary cycles, and we project it forward. Now the difference is this gets us into the neighborhood of where the stock is going to bottom, and these composites or clusters, I'm sorry, give us the exact date of when it's going to happen. In this case, there's no exact date, but we are getting very, very close to our target area that we talked about previously. $25 plus or minus, I'm sorry, yeah, no, what was it? $230. No, oh my God, I'm blanking out on price. So I'll get back to that. I believe it's 210 plus or minus $5. Yes, there you go. $210 plus or minus $5 was our initial target, and that remains to be the case. So the fast mover will come from after this cycle bottom is put in place, which is due very soon. Then the stock is going to surge into this major cycle top that is scheduled for, this one is incorrect, February 2026. It is more like May of 2026. Still, 6-7 months, and we anticipate quite a significant return on investment of at least 50% coming from T-Mobile. I'll talk about the exact prices here in a second. Well, I guess we might as well jump into it. So what I want to showcase here, this is yet another three-dimensional representation of our calculations. I know it doesn't make much sense to you, but it makes perfect sense to us. So I just wanted to showcase the actual target area for the bottom. This is exactly where T-Mobile is expected to bottom within this region, and it's a pretty tight one. So on the upper scale we have upwards of $213, and on the downside we have $210. And by the way, we know, so for example, if this is an exact forecast, right, with both price and time and what the stock is going to do going forward, and I'll show that in a second. But basically, the beauty of what we do here is that we know this exact target. We know that the bottom hasn't been reached yet, and we know that the stock is going to hit within this area. So we can take a risk-averse position of 50% gain at least going forward. And then if, for example, T-Mobile breaks below this support level, or our mathematical level, I should say, we know that the forecast has failed, and we can get out with a very small loss of 1 to 2%. At the same time, we're positioning ourselves with mathematical position for significant upside. Okay, so this is the target area for the upcoming bottom for T-Mobile, and it's scheduled to arrive as we speak, plus or minus a few days. We are very close to that particular target. And once that bottom is put in place, this is the beauty of our system. I want to show you this. Okay, so let me unclick some of the things, do a bit of a different setup, and I'll show you how we can calculate from that projected bottom that we have, how far the stock is going to go going forward. Okay, so let me remove all of this. I know it doesn't make much sense to you guys, but it makes perfect sense to us. So let me just show you how our math can calculate exactly how far the stock is going to go. So I talked about this region before. This region is typically penetrated by this underlying equity, and it keeps going higher. So at the very least, we anticipate the stock to reach into this area, which is approximately $300 a share. So from $210 to $300 a share, a little under 50% within a 6-7 month period of time. With that in mind, this particular green region, you see the darker color of it, it means it has a higher mathematical probability for us to be hit when that time turning point of May of 2026, for example, arrives. And this particular area is $334, $350 a share. A little over 50%, not bad for a 6 month, 7 month holding period. So that's it for T-Mobile. Let's see what else. We have a free trial associated with our service, no strings attached, no credit cards, none of that stuff. All you have to do is click on the link in the description of this video, and it'll take you to the form. All you have to do is request it. We set you up, and you're going to have access to a tremendous amount of information, not only the overall stock market. We'll do updates on 52 mega cap stocks that we follow throughout the year. We update them twice a year. You'll have fast movers such as T-Mobile. You'll have super equities and time and prices associated with their upcoming projected turning points. And we also have a trading parameters associated with all of our positioning and trading setups. So a wealth of information. Once again, if you would be interested, please request. Don't forget to subscribe. Finally, we have a webinar coming on Friday, 12 p.m. Eastern Time. And it's very valuable from my perspective because that's the only time we talk about the overall composition of the stock market, which we seldom do in a free forum. We also showcase our software and how we are able to scan the entire market, calculate it, and essentially pick out those stocks. And we also talk about our mathematical approach and how we calculate the market and individual stocks in three-dimensional space. So if that would be of interest, once again, the links are in the description of the video, and feel free to register. I think the space is limited, but we still have a few spots left. That's it for today. Thank you very much for your time, and we'll be back with another update tomorrow. Bye-bye.